Can I share a stat from the book? Because I'm...
Do you know that? Yeah.
Yeah, go on. What did you want to do?
No, that's fine. No, I was just trying to find this exact section where to quote the guy that was saying, look,
it's in Digger. It's in Digger, Dan.
Yeah, this is in Digger.
Yeah.
I was just looking for it. I haven't found it though.
It could be the last. Go the last. While I speak on this one, I think it could be the last page or the second last page. He's got something there.
Yeah, there's a quote here. I found that I was experiencing triggers when others talk about the pandemic, and it was as if I was fighting a war, and that showed up accompanied with uncomfortable feelings and memories. The things that I used to enjoy, like riding my bike along the tracks and walking up with friends and so forth, some days feel to be a distant memory of the past.
Okay, so that was from a Navy guy from Vietnam, that particular one. I won't give you his name because he...
Right, sure.
But he's very close to me. There's a story a couple more on which talks about the face mask of a younger... it wasn't Vietnam. But there's a chapter... Am I open to speak whatever I want?
Smash it, right? This, of all the places, talk Christianity, talk... Whatever.
All right, yeah, okay. Yeah. So there's a chapter in there called, like I said, Devil Dan.
Yeah.
And there's one called Death. One of the chapters called Death. Now, I just want to get this stat out correctly.
Yep.
In all the wars Australia has fought in, including accidents, when the helicopters go down in peacetime and up in Queensland, and deaths on the field and training, that sort of thing, there's been about 103,000 deaths of Australians. Male and female, 103,000. It's 102, 900 and something, but 103,000. When Dan Andrews was Health Minister in 2008, he was the minister that approved the Abortion Act, which I think at the time was the second worst in the world after China.
Wow.
And he says these smarter comments when some mates came to him, some Catholic mates, and he goes, I'm the Victorian Health Minister, not a Catholic minister. That was his attitude. Now, keep that 103 figure in mind, all Australians. That's about the size of the MCG. I don't know what stadium you have here that could fill that, but that's about the size of the MCG. Since 2008 up to a couple of years ago, there's been more deaths to abortion in Victoria because he approved of it. Partial birth abortion, gender selective abortion. There's been twice as many, 200,000 odd deaths from abortion since he was health minister from 2008 up to now. And then he brought in the euthanasia bill, which is more death. I call it womb to tomb. So he wants to control you. He wants to kill you from your womb and get you in your tomb.
Yeah.
Wow. Womb to tomb. So it's more than twice all Australians that have been killed in war or in the training for war. Dan Andrews is responsible. I put it straight solely on him. He was a health minister. He didn't bring it in, but he was a health minister. He supported it. When there was various changes to be done, like you've just heard it recently, where if there's a failed abortion, what are we going to do with the baby that's put to the side? Are we going to try to revive it, or do we just let it die? He voted against that in 2008.
For what reason?
That's a really good... You'll have to get the book to see that. There's no reason.
Oh, my God.
There's no reason. So that's in chapter Death. I don't know what chapter number that is.
That's insane.
That's...
42. 42 is the page number where it's the 200... where you were talking about 200,000 dead.
Yeah.
Due to the just the abortion legislation.
And counting. This is law.
Yeah, and counting. I mean, this came out in 2022. 2022. So this is where we'll be 3 years on, basically, from these stats.
And then euthanasia on top of that. And, of course, his COVID deaths, which was 800, was the first knockout of... I mean, that was a huge 800 people die from a nursing home COVID deaths. Which is a big one in itself as well.
I wonder if this is like some sort of like religious ritual, like child sacrifice or something. Like, why would you not help a child if it...
Mate, I to an extent, I believe it is. I personally believe it is. I don't think what you've said was controversial at all. I believe that there is a uniquely anti-human element to everything.
Yeah, totally.
With regards to climate change, with regards to... health, abortion, euthanasia,
education,
absolutely, education, horror stories, absolutely, Aboriginals, when they teach Aboriginal history, and it's all about people bad. I believe it's incredibly. God called us in Genesis to be the guardians of this earth.
That's right.
To take care of it, to have balance with nature, but to also to hold dominion over it.
Yep.
So nature does serve man, but also man serves God, and there's a balance. The idea that was controversial at all, Geoff. I mean, you've got to do better than that.
Don't
Get me wrong,
but it's quite
shocking.
It's quite
shocking.
an enormous figure. What it was more was putting that across to Dan Andrews, because it was him. Plus his minions of doom that are there as well. But he was the health minister. He encouraged it all the way. Just terrible. And if like we said, if he's closing down, here's another beautiful one he did. He closed down all sport except professional sport. So where I lived, they were still playing cricket on the Oval because there's a Victorian team there. Still playing the cricket on the Oval. Incredible. He decided to close golf courses, but then he decided to open them. But this will sound crazy. You weren't allowed to use the toilets. Who thinks of these things, guys? Who thinks of these things?
Yeah, the weirdest one.
Do you remember that one? Or is this new?
I've never heard
it's in
of
here
it
anyway.
That's insane.
The weirdest one in Sydney was when you could drink at a bar, but you had to be sitting down. If you stand up, like the COVID's going to take your head off or something.
Yeah. It's amazing that COVID, what it could do.
It's amazing. Smartest virus ever.
Oh yeah.
Mass psychosis, mass formation psychosis. It's insane.
Who's the conspiracy theories now?
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah, well, some went over the top, and I mentioned in the book some of the conspiracy theories are a bit over the top, but others are like, well, they've proven to be true.
Yeah,
they've proven to be true.
Yeah, the whole leadership thing as well. I mean, the whole morale of an army is critical. It's absolutely critical.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a chapter in like the 30 Laws of War or something, Rules for War or something, by Robert Greene, and there's a section on morale and what can be done, and he recalls the story of Hannibal and what he did going over the mountains and into the north of Italy, catching the Romans by surprise. He lost something like 75% of his troops making that trip over the mountains.
Wow.
So he only had 26,000 left. And when he got down there, he just knew how to motivate people with morale.
Yeah.
And whether it was through humor or a certain speech, Napoleon as well. And then when you look at our leadership today, so disengaged. And I was listening to Eric Prince. He's the founder of Blackwater, which is a private company for military contracting in America. He was saying the amount of we had 15 million people in the military during Second World War. Now it's shrunk by about 10 times, but we still have the same amount of flag staff, the sort of white collar sort of military personnel than we did back then. That's too much.
Yeah.
Way too
My
much.
son did say it's very top heavy, and most of it in Canberra.
So when they say we have 55 full-time, 75 including the reservists, what percentage is not actually active in terms of on the ground?
Well, they're not all on the ground. That's just the way that things is. They're just not on the ground. Many will be in the office.
I have so many questions, probably for your son. The military thing's a whole other topic.
He's got to come on the show.
He can't, mate. He can't. Because if he does, he's out.
Right.
You can get some retired ones, eh?
I'd love to. If he has the connections, if he knows people, I'm sure.
I know. I got a whole lot down in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Glad I asked.
The guys that were contributors to this.
All right. No, I'd love to, because I want to do a whole segment on a few different topics: housing, defence, cost of living, farming. I want to make a whole tour which shows people how much of the Coles and Woolies stuff is eye gouging and how much is basically like cost of electricity and government stuff. Full breakdowns.
Fuel as well.
Yeah, fuel's a big one. We've talked about fuel at extensive, and we've got 2 weeks of fuel, and then Australia turns into Mad Max. Basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the reserves, is it? 2 weeks.
2 weeks of diesel. So we're stuffed if 2 weeks is done. And we've got no merchant fleet in as part of our.
Yeah.
It's honestly, all the politicians treason. Like, seriously, treason. What they've done is, like, if people knew about this, they would be calling for heads. Because we could be going into a war in the next few years. You know, we've got China running around with 100 submarines.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even... We might get one submarine in 20 years, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And in the AUKUS contract, which is meant to be the best thing, if the US determines strategically that they need them more than us, that's in the contract.
Well, they already have like 7 B2s in Diego Island and the Indian Sea, ready to have a go at Iran. So I don't think anybody else has our back. But speaking of the veterans, Anzac Day is coming up on the 25th. Maybe that's worth doing the episode then or something.
Yeah, well, I'd love to, if we got the right people, because it's a federal election, defence is the time. Again, I'm no war hawk, but for God's sake, we can't just have the Chinese ships sailing around us, and it was a commercial airliner that lets us know that they were doing it.
Wow.
I mean, our government didn't know about it.
You know, you'll have some RSLs around here, and most of them are conservative. A lot of RSLs are conservative.
Yeah.
There'll be some great speakers. If you go to an RSL service this month, they'll have someone up who's a guest speaker. So it could be someone from the command already. It could be someone who's already retired. And the retired ones, they're both very good, but you probably want, like you say, a retired one.
I was going to say, you mentioned Christian values as well. Mate, not controversial at all. I mean, we weave those lines into, you know, biblical verses all the time into our...
oh, yeah, I have no problem.
Yeah.
I've literally got a Bible Christian side thing. It was more...
all the time.
Yeah, you do too, yeah.
All the time over my shoulder.
Yep.
But no, I think that our bishop, he always says, it's not that the church is corrupt because of society, it's that the society is corrupt because of the failure of the church.
Yeah, okay.
And in society, you know, politics is downstream from culture. Culture is shaped by what people believe in their homes, between them and their God. These are all byproducts.
Yeah, the Bible has a lot of political stuff in it. Who do you think Pilate was? Who do you think Pharaoh was? Who do you think King David was? These are leaders and kings, and at the time, pharaohs were the politician. Well, they were the tyrants.
100%.
They were Pilate, politician.
As much as I want people to get the full breakdown of this particular book of Dan Andrews, because there's a lot of really phenomenal stuff. Are you planning on doing another book in the lead up to November next year?
Probably not, because he's retired.
So the whole D thing, it's like, I guess A doesn't work for Alan.
Yeah, A doesn't work for Alan.
Yeah.
The triple A does, Andrews, Allen, and Albanese.
Yeah, I got him thinking about it. Maybe he'll do it.
But you know, she's cut from the same cloth. She was there. She's been there longer than Dan Andrews was. Same cloth.
Right.
So anything that she does will not surprise you. Is it increase taxes? Is it keep abortion? Of course she will. But is it more lies? Of course. Is it cuddle up to the unions more? Slap them a couple of times, but they can cuddle back up to them. Yeah, it's going to be all that. It's going to be all that. So, no, I wouldn't write a book on Jacinda Allen. It just wouldn't be worth it, because Dan Andrews had so much more to speak about. I mean, he was six lockdowns, 263 days in lockdowns, over 6 lockdowns. For the most crazy things, if people get the book, which I encourage you to, the amount of days we were in lockdown when he said, right, we're going to be in lockdown. It was like 21 in hospital and 4 in ICU, and we locked down. There was one where there was 0 in hospital and 0 in lockdown, 0 in ICU, and we were locked down. Incredible.
Just lost the plot.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what are the polls saying? Oh, we're doing better. Keep it down. Keep it locked down.
Yeah. But this book's more about, you know, his life. If you love Dan Andrews, I don't know how many on the show would love Dan Andrews, but if you love Dan Andrews, I say you'll love the book, because a lot of the words that are from his mouth, and it's showing his actions. So if you love Dan Andrews, you go, yeah, this is good. I love killing 200,000 babies, and I love, you know, bagging Margaret Court every year as a Christian, or locking up Paul Furlong, a pastor in Narre Warren, you know, for 17 days because he opened his church during lockdown. Now, if you don't like him, you'll love this book too. Yeah. But as someone came up to me once at an event, they said, read your book. It should be in the hand of every high school teacher.
Yeah.
I guess it's a history book, as it was mentioned at the start. You know, we're not going to know unless this stuff's written down, because our memories will go.
and the internet gets scrubbed of things.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it a lot in yesterday's episode. There's some things you search for it, like what did you say? Green energy was scrubbed from the internet. Labour supporting green energy, so now it's renewable energy because it incorporates gas or something. So there's this weird scrubbing of things and events.
Yeah.
It's only going to get more wild with AI as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, I mean, the whole lockdown thing was nuts. And well, what's insane about it with Dan Andrews is I was really upset when he resigned, and a lot of people were like, oh, why, you know? And look, if you want to see Dan Andrews' greatest hits, I mean, it's all in this book, as you say. But I was upset because it was like, guys, you could pin him to these things. That's the clearest.
Yes.
Now you're just going to get a nameless, faceless person. It took me a long time to remember her name, Jacinta Allen.
Yeah.
And I said, that's the point. That's the point. So with Scott Morrison, you're like, oh, Scott Morrison. You have a full download of all his history, and oh yeah, he did the portfolios thing, and you know he got caught doing that and this and that, and so you remember all this. Oh, I don't hold a hose mate. Once you get a new nameless, faceless guy, like I don't know who's another liberal, Alex Hawke. Most people wouldn't know who Alex Hawke is. I have no idea. And it's like, well, now we've got to start the whole education process back again. It's harder to connect ScoMo with Alex Hawke, and that's the challenge. Yeah. That's the challenge. It's the amnesia, would you say, of people?
I think that people get busy.
Yeah.
And like we said that comment before, where the more information that comes out, your knowledge halves. And I mean, you forget. I can't remember what I had for dinner 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
But that's always been the case, because life goes on.
That's right.
But I know I had that meal because I'm here today. So I may not remember the message that was preached last week, the week before. But it still sustained me.
Absolutely.
There's still a legacy of that. Dan Andrews has left a legacy and it's a bad legacy, I think, for Victoria. It's a legacy of massive debt, more than any other state, more than some states combined. He's left a death legacy. He's left, and that's not just in the abortions that we talked about, and euthanasia and COVID deaths. It's also in deaths of businesses. And you know, you talked about morale before. There was no empathy from him. He was one chapter in there is called demoralizing, because he'd come out every day with his there was 200 of them plus deadbeat sermons every day about here's the numbers, and there was no hope except for little one-liners that he pinched from other places in the world, like we're all in this together. You know, it's like the union, the super fund ads.
It's like the Build Back Better. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you know, we're flattening the curve, what you mentioned earlier. Or another great one was staying apart keeps us together. I mean, these are we can laugh about it.
They're really good at these, like, you know, one-liners.
Oh, the slogans are...
It makes everything forgivable. It's like, oh...
Yeah.
Why didn't you say so, you know?
But when he did come on and he said, you guys may not remember this, but there were some people at Rye in Victoria, which is 2 hours from Melbourne, hour and a half from Melbourne. Long, you know, it's beach country, if you like, way down. And there were some people there watching a sunset.
Oh, yes.
And around that same time, a group of Jewish people had an engagement party. And he came out and said, look, I'm sure the sunset was really great, but these are shitty decisions. Excuse the language. He says it's in the book. Yeah. These are shitty decisions that you know, are making everyone. It may not be a super spreader. Super spreader was another. It may not be a super spreader, but we don't know yet. So, just it was demoralising. The fines were demoralising. Having to wear a face mask for people surely was demoralising.
Yeah, kids can't play on the playground.
Oh, here's another beautiful one.
Yeah.
In 22, so lockdowns had finished, started 2022. He then decided to say, right, kids in grade 3, 4, 5 and 6 have to wear a face mask, but not prep 1, 2. And in there I've put, well, what if there's a composite grade 3, grade 2 grade? Well, you got half the class wearing face masks, the other half doesn't? Crazy decisions.
Insane. The kids had a better survival rate than you or me, Rami.
Yeah, of course
it was
did.
like 0.1% or something crazy.
Not even.
Not even.
no.
It was tinier.
Yeah.
No, and it wasn't from COVID that they died. They had, if they did,
Yeah.
and it was minute. It was,
Yeah.
but
Science.
an overreach of government. So that's what the book's about. That's
Yeah.
not just the times in COVID, but his
Absolutely.
times. How's it affected the veterans? How abortions? How he attacks Christians and the Jews as well. I mentioned in there because there was a big raid on the synagogue on one of their celebration days.
Yeah.
Just insane stuff.
It's not my favourite state. You know that, right?
Yeah. It's look. It was a pretty good state,
It was.
but he is also the first premier to ever be in charge when the grand final, the AFL grand final, was lost to both Western Australia and into Queensland. In fact, Melbourne won their first grand final in decades, was played as a state.
Such a shame.
Yeah.
It's such a shame.
So it's a historic book that really needs to be, people need to go, wow, okay, so this did happen. And hopefully people will look at that and go, okay, what will I do next time? Now that I'm armed with this information in front of me, not spread out over 2 years, but it's in, less than 260 odd pages. What am I going to do with that information? You're going to say, oh yeah, I knew all that. No, you didn't. You didn't know all that. I already know no one who read that book will know all that because there's stuff that I didn't know and there's stuff I had to search for to know.
Yeah.
And if they did know all that, which they didn't, they would have forgotten by now.
For sure. I mean, I forget all the stats. I used to know all
I'm
the
sure.
stats about ivermectin and
Yeah.
treatments, hydroxychloroquine.